Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are we doing today? I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I greatly appreciate your time, your attention, and your openness to these messages. So today we're looking at the energies around this full moon in Aries. And as we talked about in kind of the build up to this, you know, not early, but around the new moon in Virgo, it felt like we were coming upon this very critical window, which included the equinox, and it was this point of, with the new moon in Virgo, reflecting upon and possibly making changes depending upon that reflection, upon what we believe, and the invitation to recognize where our beliefs may have changed, where, or maybe where we felt they needed to change at that point in time so that they would be in alignment with what we had learned and the awareness we had gained. And then we went to the equinox, and we have this point of balance of light and dark, and an invitation to integrate both the shadow and the light within us. And as well with that, an invitation to potentially build a new navigational instrument that will help us in moving forward with this, from this new point of balance. And here we are at the full moon in Aries, the start of the zodiac. The nodes are in Aries and Libra, pointing us towards this new I am being that we are now embodying. So how have we, I can't, I wanted to say, how have we changed? But then my guides have, this is the second time this has happened, where they redirect me towards the future. They redirect me towards this kind of this blank slate. They redirect me away from spending time reflecting upon the past. Of course, not that reflection isn't important, but with this full moon, we're being invited to just to shine our light fully as this new being of I am, this new not presence of I am, but this new embodiment of I am. So how can you express that in your external world? How do you move forward in your daily world now that you are this, there's this new sense of moving into it? And actually, you know, the Aries oftentimes can be aligned with the Fool card in the tarot, because it is the first card in the tarot. It is the start of the hero's journey. And there's a freshness, a newness about it. There is an unfolding path that goes along with the symbology of the Fool, and embarking on this path with acceptance of the unknowns that are before us. Oh my gosh. And we have First Breath, Beginner's Mind. It's card number 21. So I can already tell, because threes have come up for me in the pre-shuffle I did. So yeah, threes are going to be really important again, and I think that they were around the equinox and the new moon in Virgo. And to me, I'm getting very much this sense that the three, in association with the connection between mind, body, and soul, mind, body, and spirit, and how they work when we allow them to work in a point of interconnectedness. It's from that state where we are truly aligned. And wow, this is incredible, that allowing ourselves to move forward with a beginner's mind, and so to approach things from this fresh perspective this perspective that creates worlds, this because there's the opportunity in that. When we have a blank canvas, a blank sheet of paper, the opportunity, I can't talk, the possibilities are unlimited, right? And so, and I think we had that 0 manifestation point come up in the new moon in Virgo reading as well. And I'm getting that here too. You are emerging as this brand new being, and we can experience that from a point of overwhelm, or we can experience that from a point of possibility and curiosity. And the other part of this is to also not to judge yourself, because birthing anything is not easy. It's not without tears. It's not without discomfort. And so there can be, these two things can be present simultaneously. There can be a sense of overwhelm, and there can be a sense of curiosity and excitement. There is a reminder to be very aware of how we're labeling things, because I'm just getting a bit of a nudge, I'll say, about using the word overwhelm. Because how we are describing things then informs our experience, right? So if we're using a word overwhelm, then what comes with that? There's a sense of burden and responsibility and heaviness. So is there another word that we can use? Is there a sense of maybe weightiness, but that doesn't hold the same energy as the word overwhelm, right? There can be a sense of importance, and yet that even still does not hold the burdensome characteristics of the word overwhelm. So we are definitely getting that reminder of, as we are in this birthing process, and we have these opportunities to take this first breath, how do we want to experience it? And being very intentional in it. Very, very intentional. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Creating worlds. And you guys know I'm going to mention New Earth here. This is part of what we're creating. All of the intentions, the energies that we are experiencing, that we are putting out there, that we are focused on. This helps to inform the collective experience as we go forward too. Oh my gosh, what was I just saying? Yeah, connectivity, jeweled web. We're all connected. And so as individuals, this is just what I was saying. Oh my goodness. As individuals, the intentions, the energies that we are putting out into the world, that we are embodying, that we are experiencing, all of those things ripple out. And I was definitely getting this sense from the sigil as well. All of those things ripple out into the collective and have an effect upon others around us, because we are all interconnected. We all inhabit this jeweled web where if someone moves on one section, we can feel the ripples and the vibrations of that in our section, and then it may carry on past us. It may influence us to make a certain move, which then ripples out to those inhabiting other aspects or other areas of this jeweled web. It's really beautiful. So being very intentional with, again, with our energy, and there's this important aspect of presence and being comfortable in finding comfort as best you can wherever you are in this moment, even in this moment of birthing and discomfort. Not to the point of gaslighting yourself, trying to convince yourself that, you know, different things are not going on in your experience that may be uncomfortable for you. But how can you find comfort in that moment anyway? Can those two things be true at the same time? Is there something that you can focus on that brings you a sense of joy, a sense of comfort, a sense of security, where you can find gratitude? Because it's in that energetic space it's going to allow you to unfold this I lost my train of thought, this new beginning, from a point of gratitude and acceptance rather than one of discomfort. And we have the sky bridge, the possibility for union. Yeah, so coming into union with your higher self, this can be certainly coming into union. And we had this union energy come up in the equinox reading too, didn't we? And as we were talking in that reading, I believe we talked about how as we become more fully aligned with our higher self, and we gain greater understanding of our human selves and of what our soul needs, what brings us joy, and how to in this greater integrative point of being where we accept all aspects of ourself, we reach this level of vibrational acceptance is what I'm hearing for ourselves, and that allows us then to cross paths with those who are on or within that same resonance field. And these are the people who will see you on your journey, will recognize your journey, who will be familiar to you and you to them. And this is this sense of bringing soul tribes together, bringing, I'm hearing twin flames together. I don't usually read on that, but bringing soulmates together, you know, however that sort of partnership shows up in your world, whether it be through work connections and collaborations, or great friends, or reconnecting with family, or connecting with romantic partnerships. It's these crossing of paths that happen when we are on this journey and we reach a certain point of, again, that vibrational resonance with each other. Okay. All right, we're going to go to the tarot now. Let's see what else we have. Fingers are not one to work, you guys. really drawn to the web here, and the jewels that can be found along it. And sorry if you see a cat's tail, she just jumped in my lap. And it feels it's those, the jewels are those points where there are these connection points between the different areas of the web, and it's in these points of coming together where the gifts and the treasures lie. This is so interesting, you guys. She has never wanted to come up here during a reading. Okay, Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords is moving to calmer waters, right? Being able to also the recognition of being able to navigate, or that we have learned how to navigate the choppy waters, and now we're making the choice to move beyond that, to move past it. Wow, the Queen of Pentacles, to this point of groundedness. And again, this goes back to talking about creating our own sense of stability, or recognizing where it's already present within us and even in our environment, even if it's in what may seem small aspects, but can we then amplify that so that it becomes so that when we focus our attention upon that aspect, so that it grows, and I'm seeing like this energetic bubble increasing larger and larger and larger. So the points where we feel grounded and abundant and being the gardener, tending the garden of our life. So this goes, it's bringing me back to this creating worlds. What are you tending in your garden? And so are you moving into the choppy waters with that, or are you moving away from it? And so where your focus is what is going to grow in front of you. And so being aware that even in these points of discomfort, to, yes, acknowledge that, to feel it, to allow that energy to be present so that you're not suppressing it. But the recognition point here is of in sitting in that and allowing it to be, that also allows it to release. And so there's this magic of alchemizing and transmuting that energy by allowing the two things to be present simultaneously, by allowing whatever sense of discomfort there is, as well as gratitude for something also present in the moment. And that's that unification, right? That's finding the shadow and or that's accepting that there is light and shadow in every moment. And this feels like very much the overriding theme here is because we talked about this blank slate, this blank canvas. I think we did. Did we talk about it? Anyway, this blank canvas that we have with this Aries moon and creation of the new. And so with this sense of newness, and there not being necessarily signposts along the way of this new journey that we're taking. So allowing for the uncertainty and the excitement and the curiosity and the anticipation of adventure that happens in that sort of explorative mindset. And so also finding that when we find ourselves in the storm, allowing two things to be true at the same time, or more than two, but allowing the light and the shadow of that experience to be true at the same time. And by even just witnessing those two aspects, we are then opening ourselves up to the possibility of making a different choice than we have in the past of which aspect we're going to focus on. So allowing ourselves to be in this gardener's mindset where, yes, it would be amazing to sit in my garden and have the warm sunshine falling upon me and warming my back and highlighting the flowers and the colors that are in the garden. But today there's a rainstorm, and no, I can't go sit in my garden, but this is it's providing the nutrients and the moisture that my garden needs to flourish tomorrow. I hope that little story made sense for what we're talking about here, you guys. It did to me. I hope it made sense for you. That was interesting. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here? Let's move these out of the way. And there's the Fool. And again, we have that garden. And to me, with this Fool card, we have this alligator that's underneath the ground, and he's kind of trying to lure our figure in with this light that's upon his tail. But to me, this is indicating this balance again of the shadow and the light that is in every moment for us. And it's this ability to reminding us of our ability to recognize both things being true at the same time. And we have the option, and again, the ability, that word keeps coming up, the ability to choose which we will focus on. Right, because we have the Eight of Swords here. So we can choose to be caged by this sense of uncertainty and this sense of an unmarked path in front of us, or we can use our wings to be free and explore and to go forward without any sort of sense. You know, the thing about an unmarked path is there's no turn that's a wrong turn, right? It's unmarked. There are no wrong choices. It's just taking a different path. So I think this is the thing that we need to recognize as we go forward and as we are paving our own way forward, is that any choices that we make they're not wrong choices. They just lead us to a different experience. We always have the option to double back or to cut across and go a different way. But to not move forward at all is to actually be in the cage. It's not the path that provides the cage, it's the lack of movement. So it's not the path that cages, it's not the path that cages us, that keeps us in a state of, it's not the unmarked path that causes this state of feeling stuck or of being unable to move forward. The path is unlimited in potential and possibilities. It's no movement forward that puts us in the cage. Because literally then, if we're not moving, we might as well have bars around us. We're creating a mental cage that keeps us from even adventuring forward on the path. Wow, that's really beautiful. Really beautiful. So don't, and again, it's not, I'm being drawn back to the alligator here, and now I'm getting this sense that the alligator, for some of us, may be how we view the path forward, as if the path were dangerous itself, but it's not. It's not the path that holds danger. It's our perception of the path is what I'm hearing. And you won't find safety within this cage because you'll still be trapped in your mind, and the perceptions that you have of the path forward will still exist. So allow yourself to move forward on the path. It is calling you, it is beckoning to you. And explore freely, and explore with the acceptance and the allowance of two things being true simultaneously, two or more. That there can be uncertainty and there can be excitement. There can be uncertainty and there can be adventure. There can be this blank swath of nothingness in front of you. And this can also hold unlimited potential. And the reminder that as you move forward, you are these vibrations on this jeweled web. As you set yourself free from this cage, that vibration is being transmitted out through the web, and it is offering encouragement to others to do the same. And the more of us that then break free of this cage, then the more of us come into union with each other in one way or another. And we form these beautiful bridges of collaboration. And this is what bridges us into New Earth. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I greatly appreciate it. I am wishing you all a wonderful full moon in Aries, and I will be back soon. Thank you.